The sun beats down on an empty stretch of highway, the heat shimmering off the asphalt. The road winds through the countryside, surrounded by dry grass and distant hills. But hidden beneath the surface of this seemingly peaceful scene is a silent trap, a deep pothole filled with thick, dark mud. Inside, a small cluster of puppies struggles desperately, their tiny bodies slick with grime, paws scrambling for a grip that isn't there. Their faint whimpers are swallowed by the roar of passing cars, unnoticed by the world racing by. Each minute feels heavier, the mud pulling them deeper, their energy fading with every failed attempt to climb out. In the middle of nowhere, trapped and unseen, a group of puppies fights for their lives. No one knows they're there, no one, except for one unlikely hero. Across a nearby field, an old horse grazes quietly, its gray-speckled coat weathered by time. Its pace is slow, its movements deliberate, until it hears something. A faint, desperate sound carried by the wind. The horse freezes, ears flicking toward the source. It listens. And then, without hesitation, it moves. Despite its age, the horse breaks into a determined trot, heading toward the distressed cries. It reaches the edge of the road, peers into the pothole, and sees them. Tiny, fragile lives on the brink of being lost. The horse can't pull them out, but it knows what to do. It can't speak. It can't call for help. But it understands. It knows that someone needs to care. So, the old horse does something no one expects. With surprising determination, the horse gallops onto the highway, positioning its body directly in the path of an oncoming car. *A, car approaches, its tires humming against the asphalt. The driver, a woman in her early 30s, is lost in thought, tapping her fingers to the rhythm of a song. But her focus snaps back to reality as she slams on the brakes, tires screeching, heart racing. There, standing defiantly in the middle of the road, is the old horse. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't move. It simply stands, eyes locked on her, as if trying to communicate something urgent. Woman, stepping out cautiously. "Hey there, old fella, what's going on?" The horse doesn't run. Instead, it turns its head sharply, glancing down the road, then back at the woman. It takes a few steps forward, pauses, and looks back again, beckoning her to follow. It's not lost. It's not wandering. It's leading, curiosity mixed with concern. The woman follows, first on foot, then realizing the distance, she gets back in her car, slowly trailing the horse as it guides her down the road. After a short drive, the horse suddenly veers off, stopping beside the deep pothole. The woman parks her car, stepping out cautiously, until she hears it. Faint cries, whimpers rising from the earth. She rushes to the pothole's edge and gasps. Covered in mud, trembling with exhaustion, are several tiny puppies, their eyes wide with fear, their little paws clawing at the slick walls, unable to escape. She doesn't hesitate. There's no time to waste. Lives are hanging by a thread, rolling up her sleeves. She jumps into action. She grabs a blanket from her car, kneels by the hole, and carefully begins pulling the puppies out one by one, her hands shaking with urgency. The horse stands nearby, watching silently, its eyes filled with something that almost looks like relief. The puppies are cold, soaked, and covered in mud. Some are barely moving, their tiny bodies weak from exhaustion. The woman lays them gently on a clean sheet she's spread on the ground, checking each one for signs of injury. She pulls a water bottle from her car, carefully dripping small amounts into their mouths, helping them hydrate. She wipes the mud from their faces with soft cloths, whispering soothing words as she works, her heart breaking with each tiny whimper. In that moment, the highway fades away. The noise of the world disappears. All that matters are the fragile lives in her hands, and the horse standing guard, its mission not yet complete. After hours of tender care, the puppies begin to show signs of recovery. Their breathing steadies, their tiny tails give weak wags, and their eyes, once filled with fear, now reflect safety and warmth. The woman smiles through tears, glancing up at the old horse who's been there the entire time. It approaches slowly, lowering its head as if to check on the puppies one last time. The connection between the woman, the puppies, and the horse is undeniable. A bond formed not through words, but through pure, instinctive compassion. It's easy to think heroes wear capes, but sometimes they wear old, weathered coats, stand on four legs, and stop traffic to save lives. Before leaving, she turns back to the old horse, her heart full of gratitude. Woman, softly, with a tearful smile. "Thank you, old friend. You saved them." The horse watches as she drives away, standing tall against the setting sun. There's no dramatic gesture, no neigh of farewell, just quiet satisfaction, a mission complete. It turns slowly, walking back toward the fields, disappearing into the horizon, leaving behind a story that will never be forgotten. This story isn't just about a rescue. It's about the simple truth that compassion knows no boundaries, not species, not circumstance. It's about paying attention, about listening when the world tries to tell you something, even if it speaks through an old horse on an empty road. Kindness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a soft whimper from a pothole or the silent gaze of an old horse. Be the person who listens. Subscribe for more stories of hope and survival. Together, we can be the voice for those who cannot speak.